Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel where I post book rants, book critiques, book reviews. So I was supposed to post this review like 2 years ago, but then it got pushed back. So technically I finished Children of Virtue and Vengeance around early 2023. So it's been like 2 years. But if you haven't seen my original review of Children of Blood and Bone, I'll link it down below so you guys can take a look at that if you want to. But I do want to mention that that review was when I was still in high school. So it was for a class and it was on my old channel, but definitely feel free to explore and watch my old videos there. First things first, there's like a glare in my glasses. Like if you can see that, but like I literally can't see without my glasses. So I also have notes that I'm looking at. But yeah, anyways, these notes are literally from like 2, 3 years ago. So but anyway, Children of Virtue and Vengeance. I have the book. Where did I put it? Give me a second. Children of Virtue and Vengeance is the second book to a series by Tomi Adeyemi. The first book was Children of Blood and Bone, which I reviewed and published on YouTube. It follows a girl by the name of Zaylee and her journey to fight a war after magic was unleashed and given to everyone on Earth. So the journey of unleashing magic was in book one, but this is the journey to like stop a war now that everyone has magic. She fights and plots alongside her brother and the princess of the rival kingdom. So they make friends with the princess of the rival kingdom because she doesn't like her kingdom because they tried to kill her. So now she's working with them and they're fighting against Zaylee, the main character's ex-boyfriend, who is the prince, who just is the princess's brother from their rival kingdom. So that was the background. So let's get started with a book review. So first I want to talk about the writing style of Tomi Adeyemi. Did she improve? So the beginning really had me fooled, but as I read on, I realized that um Tomi Adeyemi didn't get better. As a matter of fact, she like got worse. Her writing was really static, which is like, like good for you for being very consistent. But it's just like not like so the first thing I want to talk about is the scene changes. So in this book, which is a second book, if you watch my first review, you would know that like the chapters are really short. But in the second book, the chapters are even shorter. Chapters are completely cut in different places. We don't know how much time is passing through those chapters because they're really short. Like I said, it's written like a screenplay. It's written like from scene to scene. So think about like a movie, how those scenes split up, but then they're still kind of like within the same timeline. But here it's like cut really short. Like I thought that everything was happening in like hours or days. No, it was like months or like weeks. I don't even know. Like now let's talk about the world building now that you know my opinion about her writing. Why and how do people adapt to their powers so fast? Okay, I might be wrong, but what I had in my notes was everyone had a lot of trouble controlling their powers in the first book. But after the monarchy gets powers, they just start using them right away. Like they had them for years. Like they just become like professionals. Like they just I don't really know what is going on. Like maybe it's been years, but I couldn't really tell. Another thing that I wish we saw more of in order to get a better idea of the world building was seeing everyday people. Like we don't get to see everyday people, so we lack knowledge of what do like the everyday people, like the poor people know, like how are they suffering? Like do they get powers? Like we barely see any in both of the books. We see a little bit with the girl and Anan in the middle of the book, but like I want to know more. Like for example, like we see a lot of them plotting how to like win the war, and then we see a lot of them plotting the war, but we don't see anything outside of that. We see a lot from Zaylee, just from her like arguing with like the diplomats or like whatever. And then we see a lot of Inan, which is the main guy, moping around with his mom and like trying to get his girlfriend back. But like I don't understand what is going on. Like how much time is passing through? Like what is everyone experiencing? Like all of a sudden everyone just got their powers. So far we see the monarchy, political and war conflicts, but we don't see anything in between. There's no depth to it. I'm still wondering like what happened to the gods, cuz like they talked about it in the first book, but now we're just talking about the war. So I didn't really get any explanation. Like, I would like to know more about that. I don't want to read the third book. Next, I want to talk about characterization. First, I want to say that no one is smart in the book. Like, no one. No one is smart in the book, like, at all. Secondly, I feel like everyone is void of emotion, and I was very, very sick of the chapter switching perspectives every like 2 pages because like I didn't even register whose perspective I'm reading from. Like, they're literally like actually like 2 pages. Like, if I can show you guys. So most of them are between like 2 to 10 pages, but like in like regular books, like most chapters are like 10 to 20 pages. I feel like I didn't really get a chance to like soak in what was happening because it kept changing perspectives as well, and there were like time skips. So the first character that I want to talk about is Zaylee, of course, as she is the main character. This was a while ago, so I actually don't remember what I was thinking at that time, but I felt as if Zaylee never really had a character development. I feel like Adeyemi attempted a character development, like Zaylee caring about other people, which is just like not. It doesn't seem realistic in the book. Like, it felt a little bit like the author was trying a little too hard to very like show you that she cares about people when like I feel like it was just like dropped onto us. But yeah, I feel like Adeyemi tried to make her a little more mature, but I just really didn't feel it in the book. Like, it felt like it was kind of forced, if you know what I mean. Yeah, like there isn't any internalization, which kind of brings away the depth of her character development. Sorry, these are gonna be really short because like I don't really remember. Like, these are just the things that I wrote down last time. So I want to talk about Amari. Honestly, like, what's up with Amari? Like, overall her character is fine, but like there's just like no character development. Like, I this is just what I get from like going through the book and like looking at my notes. But like, we don't really see that much with Princess Amari. Like, everything is very shallow. Like, she has a goal and she's trying to achieve it in her chapters, but like she's getting nowhere. Like, I do acknowledge that there is that Adayemi includes like the character internalization and like conflict internalization more for Amari instead of like Zaylee, but like it honestly doesn't get anywhere. Like, Amari's like, "Oh, I have this great plan and I'm going to change everything no matter what they say." And then the next chapter is like, "Yes, okay. I'll listen to you guys now. You guys are right. Like, I'll just like stop my plan. Like, you're right, I'm wrong." Like, so what was that whole like suspense at the end of like your chapter 4? Like, yeah, what's going on? Like, okay. So next I want to talk about Zane or Zai. Okay, honestly, I should really fucking look at Google Translate because I don't know how to pronounce his name, so that makes me a little ignorant. Sorry. We like don't see him in the book like at all. Like, he comes in like 2 scenes, like 2 chapters, and that's fucking it. Like, I'm dead ass serious. Like, throughout the whole book, I was like, is her brother dead? Where is Zaylee's brother? Where the fuck has he been? And then he pops up, and I'm like, okay, he's still alive. He's still dating Amari. Okay, but he kind of becomes irrelevant. Just wondering like what happened to him. So obviously we don't see much of him. Next, moving on to Anon. Why is he alive? Why is Prince Anon alive? He died in the first book. I thought that was a really good death. He wasn't really, I don't know, maybe it's just because the book wasn't good, but I honestly didn't really feel any connection that would make me happy or excited if he was alive. Honestly, I was like a little pissed off. Like, I was like, "Oh wow, he's dead." Like, like his death really added some importance to the book, while now he's alive and it's just freaking annoying again because all he does is just mope around. Like, the other makes him simp for Zaylee, which like no complaints, I guess, but it's just that I feel like he was supposed to be like a very powerful man. But like now in the second book, like he's just like a powerless kid clinging to his mom. Like, this is him. Maybe that's supposed to be his character development from like a super strong man to like, "No, my ex-girlfriend broke up with me. I'm so sad." I just kissed him. I don't know. Like, his character development is just like, I'm not like a fan. Like, instead of him slowly going through these like emotions where we can actually feel it, it's very much just told to us that like it's supposed to be this way, so it's that way, instead of like showing us and making us feel where we think, like a mind blowing moment. But in the beginning of this book and like at the end of the first book, I feel like his realization, Anand's realization that his mom is evil takes so long to kick in that he seems like a little kid. Like, he doesn't seem powerful or strong anymore. Like, in the first book, like, it was very adamant that Prince Anand, he has like an aura about him that makes him seem very powerful and very strong. So, like, you expect that out of him. But it just doesn't give that. Like, even in the first book, it didn't give that. So now it's just like more confusing now that you read into the second book. He doesn't really have a purpose in the war, to be honest. Like, his mom's taking care of everything. So it makes me feel like he's like powerless. Like, I'm fucking serious. Like, all he does is just mope around. Like, oh no, my girlfriend, mom, what do I do? Like, he does not give two shits about like what's going on. So like, it's like, what happened to him? Like, he's supposed to be this guy who's like, yes, very serious, but now he's like, my girlfriend. I'm wondering if there is supposed to be a reason for his character change that made him very desperate for like Zaylee, but like I don't understand because there's just like no chemistry for him to develop into that kind of person. I feel like they barely know each other. Like, they just lack a lot of chemistry. I'm just gonna move on to Rowan, but I actually liked Rowan's character. Like, he's very static character throughout the book, but like that's what you kind of expect, because I feel like for his specific role, like, you expect his character to be very static. He makes the book interesting, honestly. Um, I do wish that he was smarter, but then again, like, the author isn't that great in my opinion, so I don't really expect something amazing to come out of her for like even this great character. But I do acknowledge that I do like his character. First I want to talk about Zaylee and Amari. Their relationship is like really fucking frustrating, and like not in a good way. Like, the author creates tension, or at least like she tries to, but it's just like not done well. There is a constant black and white relationship between them, and there's just like phases that occur between them that like you expect that one of them will break out of it, but like neither of them do, and there's just like so much tension, but like not in like a good way. Like, it's very back and forth. Like, their relationship is like fucking bipolar, that it's annoying. There's just like no explanation or nothing much that we can get from the relationship. Like, I still don't understand why there's so much tension in the relationship. Maybe it's because she's still the princess from the other country or like whatever, but like, okay, maybe it's that. But like, I just wasn't a fan of how it was written, if I'm allowed to say that. I also want to mention that like their relationship doesn't go through a phase of like friendship and betrayal, which is why it's very annoying to me. Like, there's not a betrayal to it. It's more of like they're just annoyed of each other, which if the author is trying to accomplish, then I guess she did accomplish that. I guess I'm trying to at least give them compliments or something. So I want to talk about Zaylee and Rowan. Zaylee and Rowan, I thought that the relationship was fine, honestly. It's actually a lot more interesting than her and Prince Anand. So like, yeah, tops to Ariami for that. Um, I do wonder why Zaylee likes him though, because I feel like there's just not like a chemistry between them, which is something that the author is supposed to accomplish between the characters in order for us readers to feel it. So I just didn't really feel like there was a lot of chemistry, but again, I thought that was fine. Like, it was like a good add to the book. Like, I did enjoy his character. Zaylee and Zayn, no comment. Their relationship was just like non-existent. Zaylee and Inan, um very fucking bipolar. Like, the author does a not a good job, like does a bad job at incorporating emotions and logic into chemistry, into people's relationships. For example, Zaylee is like very adamant about not trusting Anon like at all because he betrayed them. But then like she meets with him for like 2 minutes and then she trusts him again. She's like, I've hated you with all your guts, but you said that you're sorry, so now I trust you. Let's plan everything together, even though you're from the opposite side of my enemies. And then, like, literally 3 seconds later, she doesn't fucking trust him after she's like, I trust you. Like, yeah, like, Again, like Inan's also really fucking dumb, even though he's supposed to be like a great prince. Like he gets followed, and then they start like attacking their base, like Zaylee's base, and then she's like, "I don't trust you," and then he's like,
No, trust me again, please.
it's really like a what the fuck. Like these people are dumb, you know. Like no one is smart in the book. Like be fucking for real. It's not a good enemies to lovers. Not good. Just like a moping around guy who's like sad that his girlfriend broke up with him, and then his mom's taking care of him and everything, and then he tries to apologize, but then he fucks up everything. I did enjoy the letter at the end. I actually don't remember if he died or not, but I remember that I did enjoy the letter that the author put at the end though, so that was fine. Amari and Zayn non-existent, like they're dating, but like you never ever see them together, so like you just kind of forget. So they're like non-existent, not important. Amari and Anan, so they're siblings, they're brother and sister, they're royalty. Their relationship was actually fine in the book. I like their loyalty to each other, and they seem more like siblings than like could be lovers in the first book. Like honestly, they felt like they could be lovers in the first book, but I think they they're fine in the second book. Overall, my opinion didn't really change about any of the relationships. It's still very lacking in emotion and logic and just like an overall development for their relationships. So it's just I just couldn't feel it. Wasn't really my thing. So the plot, I expected the book to end, but like nothing wrapped up. It just like the book just like ended. Is I think there's a third book coming. I'm not gonna fucking read it because I literally wasted my time.
Ugh.
Like I wasted my time reading the second book just so I can make this review to see if like my opinion is gonna change. It did not fucking change. It did not fucking change. The book makes me laugh. Like I think I was like laughing my ass off the entire time I was reading because I was just so frustrated. Like it seemed like a joke at that point. Like this book is a joke. Like it was really funny. There was no climax. Like the book was really static. Like it has like a singular plot, which is like fine, but it stretches for a very long time. Like there are very unnecessary things that's added to the book, and the only reason why I feel like the book is long is because the like author adds a lot of unnecessary things. Like it's not long because it's good. For example, like the bipolar relationships, not done well. It's just bipolar. It doesn't build anything. It just builds up my frustration. That's what it builds up. Like honestly, I feel like we would not need book three if Ariami just used up the time that she had with her two books. Like this could have been written in like 2 books, but like she didn't want to. So content, like I said, very unnecessary things. Like some scenes you think something big is gonna come out of it, but it just nothing comes out of it. It just goes back to being normal. Like it builds suspense and then like nothing. Nothing. I really thought that Princess Amari was gonna give us like a villain arc. Like I was excited. I was like, oh, so shit's gonna go down. But then like our queen Adayami misled us because obviously we got literally nothing out of it. Like she just went back to being old, useless, weak Princess Amari. Also like the queen meeting up with Rowan. Nothing came out of that. Like that was so fucking unnecessary. Like what was going on? Like Zaylee swimming with Rowan. I just did not give a flying fuck. Like that was kind of cringe. Pain. So writing pain is difficult. But like in this book, it cannot be that difficult for you to just add it. Like no one reacts to getting stabbed or any pain at all. Like where's the emotion? Where's the detail? Like there's a lot of like huh, but like there's like is no one just feeling any pain? Like, are they just like, do they have like such a high pain tolerance that they just don't react at all? I rate this book a 1.5 out of 5 stars. I had high hopes for this book and the ending, but when I got close to the ending and I realized that there were only 3 freaking chapters left, but nothing was wrapping up, I had a fucking mental breakdown because no way did she was gonna write another fucking book. And then I searched it up, and yes, she was writing another fucking book, and it just came out. I'm pretty sure. I genuinely felt like nothing happened in this book, especially because it jumped around a lot, and like we didn't get to see enough of the characters or like the plot development or like the world building. Like world building is so important. It lacked the journey to get us to the plot. I didn't think it was written well. Like, could it be a good movie series? I think it could. Like, it definitely depends if you like do it good. So this is just like an update, but I found out that they're making a movie out of the book, and I'm really glad for that because I don't think that the story fits a book. But yeah, I'm happy that they're turning it into a movie, and I hope they have fun with that because, yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that it has a lot of potential to be a good movie series, which is why I feel like it's written like a screenplay because you if you can you can just write a screenplay if you want it to be a screenplay. You literally don't have to write a book. Anyway, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this book review or not. That's fine. Um, the next book that I'm gonna be reviewing is The Cruel Prince. Bye. Bye.